Do you still beat yourself up for financial mistakes of the past? Let's talk about it. Hi, this is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. How's everybody doing on this Wednesday morning? Hope that this video, as always, finds everybody doing well. You know, sometimes as human beings, we have a tendency to beat ourselves up for prior mistakes from the past. If you think that's an okay thing to do all the time, it's really not. It's actually very, very bad. And we even do that in the arena of financial mistakes. I am certain that I know factually that I have made financial mistakes in my past. And it's very probable that you have made financial mistakes in your past. But here's the thing is to not dwell on that mistake. And the thing is to learn from that mistake, to take something back from that mistake. And there may be times in our lives that we're going to feel completely overwhelmed, distraught, and possibly tend to go back to our old routine because it's old and familiar. And that can be a big mistake. We'll talk about that when I get back. Thanks so much for coming back. I really, really do appreciate it. We're talking about past mistakes and how we sometimes have a tendency to continuously beat ourselves up with it. And we also possibly may have a tendency to repeat the same mistake again. And I'll tell you why we do it. Now, I'm going to allude to an imaginary situation. Did you ever attend a meeting or an assembly with a small group of people, and there's a vast array of chairs and seating arrangements in that venue, whatever it may be, even if it's visiting someone at their home? Did you ever notice a pattern that even in small groups, people tend to go back to the seat they originally had chosen from, let's say, a prior visit or a prior meeting? I laughed to myself because I've done it myself, and I've looked around. I said, wait a minute. So-and-so sat on the left. The other one sat on the right. The other one likes to sit on the floor. You know what I'm trying to say. We are all creatures of habit. Now, sometimes that could be a good thing, and it's innocent enough to sit like that. You prefer to sit in that arrangement. Or even in a congregation at church, for example. You may notice people tend to take the same seats every single time. And that's totally okay, not an issue. But when you're talking about financial rearrangement, if you're comfortable, for example, when you're like very, very low on funds, okay, to run to the same person or people to ask them for temporary help, for example, this is just an example in saying, and that person is reticent or doesn't like to help you out, then I ask myself, why would that person keep going back to that person? They need to step up the game and find a different resource, or come up with a quick way to raise the cash, whatever, and to not go through that process again of humiliation and rejection. I don't know why people do these things, but we do these things. We get into what I call a comfortable rut, and that can happen to anyone. So here's the trick. Don't dwell on your past financial mistakes. Sit down and analyze, hey, why do I beat myself up in the first place? That's a big one. That's really a big question to do that. So ask yourself that, okay? I've done that with past mistakes. Oh, why did you do that? Oh, you should know better. And then like get stuck in that mentality for a while. It's just not good because it makes you feel really, really not good. We'll talk more about this when I get back. Hey, thank you so much for sticking around as long as you did. I really do appreciate your time. I want you to know that. So now we know we don't have to beat ourselves up for any mistakes that we've ever made in our past. We can always try again and have a do over in our future life. And that includes your financial mistakes. Every single one of us has made some type of financial boo boo somewhere along the line. But the great news is that we can always look ahead and correct. We could sit down and analyze, what do we do wrong? Do we tend to repeat ourselves in the process and keep going through the same negative dynamic? Keep going through the same negative dynamic, you're always going to get the same not so great result. Am I right or am I right? Okay. Before I go, I just want to remind you that I think I'm going to continue on. Actually, no, for sure. I'm going to continue on tagging on some stretching music for many people that do enjoy to do that at the end of the video. Of course, it's your option to listen. You could stop it at this point after I finish speaking, and I do appreciate you sticking around. But also, the people that want to stretch and listen to some nice, stretchy, relaxing music, or even just close your eyes and just say, this 2 minutes of the day happens to be yours. And you and I deserve it. So there. In the meantime, this has been Jan from New York City. Thank you so much for viewing. And as I said before, I really do appreciate your time. In the meantime, have a great day. And I look forward to giving you more important messages real soon. Have a great day and stick around for some music.